This is my, not exaggerating, at least 10th, maybe 8th or 9th or 10th time trying to make this video today. I'm happy that I have all the time in the world to just keep trying to make this video, knowing that I'm not going to give up until it's done. I think today's just going to be a shitty video. It's always nice to like lower the bar sometimes. Sometimes you're just not going to do your best work, and that's just part of life. But I think it's still best to do your work anyways, to show up and just do the work. And that actually helps you the next day, to do maybe the best work you've ever done. That's happened with me a lot, where one day I just cannot make a video that I like, but because I showed up and because I still posted something and I still went through the motions of giving my gifts, of doing what I love to do, somehow that moves energy, that gets us in a better place mentally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, etc., to where we're like still riding the current of living our purpose. And so sometimes living our purpose means we just paint a shitty picture that we don't like, or we can't, if you're a piano player or something, you just can't hit the right notes and you just can't play the song how you want to play it or something, right? If you're a writer, you just sit there, you write all day, and a lot of times writers, they write every day, a lot of them, and sometimes they'll write for a week straight and they won't use any of it, right? So part of this process is being okay with not being perfect, not, doing your best, but still showing up and doing it anyways. And that's kind of what today is about for me, is like, I just cannot find a rhythm. I can't find that wave where it's like an actual co-creative process with spirit. It's just, but the effort is there, the willingness is there to be a part of something like that, to be a part of that co-creative dance. And so as long as that's there, and as long as you keep showing up for spirit, eventually, getting micro doses of chills right now, eventually spirit will start pouring through you and will take over the show completely. I've had that experience a lot. But it's like when we're getting back into giving our gifts, or we're just tapping back into our purpose again, sometimes spirit likes to test us and say, okay, how willing are you? Are you going to show up even when it feels clunky, even when it feels absent of flow, even when it's, like I said, you're unable to tap into doing your best work? It's like spirit in those days is asking you, like, how much do you want this? Like, are you really all in? Because spirit wants to use people as conduits who are all in, who are really committed, who are willing to put being a conduit before everything else in their life. Like if you're a healer, a tarot reader, pastor, preacher, energy worker, Reiki healer, whatever, and you're not putting being a conduit first in your life, and if basically another way of saying that, if you're not putting God first in your life, then you've sort of failed before you started. And because to really do this, to really be a channeler, to really be a conduit for divine grace to flow through, it has to be your whole life. It has to be your number one priority above everything else. I'm sure if you have kids and stuff and a family, obviously, I don't know that. I don't know what that's like. So I can only talk about things I know, but I can imagine, like, for me, it would almost be like if I had children and a family, I would still be wanting to put being a conduit first, because then that would actually flow into the family's well-being, So you putting you first, you putting your gifts first, is actually what's best for the one, is actually what's best for those closest to you. It can kind of seem counterintuitive to the mind. It can almost seem selfish, right? Because to put yourself first, to put being a conduit first for whatever you love to do, it's gonna take it takes time. It takes you really putting a lot of importance on you and your process, and carving out big chunks of your life for this process. And that can seem selfish, but guess what? If you don't do that, others will not be getting the best version of you. you will be cheating others out of the highest version of you. So it's actually essential that you carve out a huge part of your life to being a divine conduit, to putting that first. Because when you do, others get, like I said, they get the best version of you. They get to feel the most amount of light flowing through you into them, into what they love. And guess what? When you're all about what you love, when you're all about celebrating what you love and making that a priority, that's going to flow through you, and you're going to be all about what other people love too. And you're going to be all about celebrating what inspires them. And they're going to feel that, and they're going to love to be around you, and they're going to love to have you as this person of support. And they're going to look to you as a leader, as a mentor, as like, oh my gosh, look, that, like, they're going to see that you are making yourself a priority and giving your gifts a huge part of your life. And that's in a way going to enable them and give them permission to do the same, right? So that's what this is all about. You're all like little energy nodes, and the more you wake up and start shining and start giving your purpose, the more those around you that are connected to you are going to see that and become inspired by it, and the more they're going to kind of burst out of their egoic bubble, their conditioning, their shell, and the more they're going to come alive and start sharing their light and start shining too. So that's really what showing up every day is about. It's not about doing your best work every day. That's impossible. It's not about feeling like you're in the flow and everything, and the divine is just doing it through you every day. Like that's not realistic, for at least for a while. This is not about being perfect. This is just about showing up for the divine. This is just about saying, hey, I'm here. I'm gonna do the thing. You can do it with me and through me if you want, but either way, I'm doing it. You know, I'm making myself a priority. And the more you do that, the more the universe just can't help but to start working through you. The more the universe is like, all right, this guy, we can trust him, we can rely on him. Or this girl, she shows up and she paints every day, and even the days where she doesn't feel like it, and it's just ugh, you know, it feels like walking through mud. She's still there doing it. You know, the universe just can't help herself but to be like, all right, let's work through her, because we know we can count on her or him or whatever, you know. And so that's what it's really all about. And the more you just show up, like, look at me, I'm smiling, I'm feeling light. I've been starting to feel goosebumps towards the end of this, feeling them right now in this moment. It's like, okay, I showed up, and spirit was like, this guy's tried 10 times today, and he just decided on the 10th time he's just gonna post that one, and he made a pact with himself, like, no matter what it looks like, I'm gonna be a conduit today. And so it's almost like the universe is like, dang, you know, we gotta if we're not gonna help this guy, then who are we gonna help, in a way? So yeah, it's that dedication and that intention, and that's what wakes up, you could say that's what wakes up our divine DNA. That's what you know, that's what allows us to really anchor in to being a divine conduit. And like, still today, this video is still, to me, very clunky. Just like, I didn't say things very well, and it wasn't a flow, but I felt lots of light show up, like, hey, you're doing the right thing. We know today wasn't the most flowy, but amazing job just showing up. Because like I said, me showing up today, this creates a momentum. This creates this creates just like a sense of fulfillment in my own body. Like, hey, it wasn't the best video. It was, you know, whatever judgments I might have about it, but we did it. And then you just kind of let go of today's video, or you let go of today's painting that you didn't love that much, and you're just on to the next one. And because, like I was saying earlier in the video, because you showed up for today, you know, being a divine conduit today, it's kind of like you clear the space, you cleared the energy for the next great inspiration to come in tomorrow. Because if you didn't show up, then you wouldn't clear that energy, then your conduit would still be kind of full of gunk, right? It's like, some days we just have to show up and get the gunk out and just kind of move through it and just be like, holy shit, this was not, you know, our best work, but wow, we still feel better after. And that's really what this is about. It's like maintaining our conduit, right? And that's how we really maintain it and keep it as a clear vessel, is we show up and we move and we share what's here. It's like, you know, I'm sure a professional athlete, you know, or a professional basketball player, one game they show up and they just can't make a shot. And everything's kind of going wrong and they're not in the flow of the game. But it's like, because that game happened, they got to learn from it, because they participated in the game still and tried their best and showed up, even if they missed almost every shot. It's like they received information from that. And in the next game, it's like, it's easier for them to tap in to the flow. And maybe they have one of their best games, or maybe that really, the game where they missed a lot of shots, it got them back on track in a way. It helped them, you know, it just helped them it just helped them find, you know, the things they needed to find within themselves to show up as the best version of them the next game. And so, yeah, I don't know. This is the video today. I hope you guys like it. 11/11. We're gonna end it here. Sending you so much love. If you want to support this work, if you want to support this channel, if this resonates with you, I will leave donation links below, and also a link to join the Patreon page, where you can find a lot of other exclusive content from me. So sending you all some love, and hopefully some divine inspiration to just show up and do the damn thing, even if it's not your best effort, or, I mean, it will be your best effort, but even if it's not your best result or your best work, it's okay. It's totally cool. Yeah, have at it. I mean, it's really, that's your only job, is just to show up, and you don't worry about the results. You just worry about showing up and giving your gifts, and that's it. That's all you're responsible for, right? The rest is up to God. How it looks or whatever, how it sounds, that's all God's business. What you got to do is you just show up and you just show God, hey, I'm here and I'm willing. And then the rest is not your responsibility, I promise. Just try your best. Try your best, and the rest is God. Okay, ending it now. Namaste.